Hello and welcome to another installment of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of April 8th, 2015. And we got a lot of Convergence. A lot of it this week. So let's get right into it. So first up, Convergence number one. I have not yet been able to read any of the Convergence stuff. I did not get through my books last week. A lot of stuff going on with family and all that. So was not able to get to reading Convergence or finish up the stuff before it. So hopefully this week I'll be able to get a little caught up. I'm on spring break next week from work, so I'm hoping to have a nice kind of solid reading for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, but Convergence number one is out, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. So, next up, well, there was two covers that I picked up from Convergence one. The first one was that one. The second one was the Tony Daniel one, which is awesome. So yeah, so if you're down at your shop, basically check out the excuse me, check out the variant, because you might want to get the variant, or you might want to get both. Who knows? But there's two covers at least that are easy to get. There's a couple other variants, but I wasn't concerned with those. So first up on my pull list for Convergence titles is Convergence: The Atom. I've always liked the Atom character. I've never read too much about him. I know he popped up a lot in 52 and Countdown and stuff like that. So I've always been interested with the character. So I'm curious to see what this story entails. And the Atom in Arrow has been fucking cool. So yeah. Then next up we have Batman and Robin Convergence. So we'll get to see kind of what is this Batman and Robin team. I really don't know anything about when these are taking place, like if it's like 90s, 2000s, current stuff. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But Batman and Robin Convergence number one is out. Oh, these are all number one of twos, by the way. So yeah. The next up we have Convergence Harley Quinn number one. Looks like a return to the Gotham City Sirens stuff, which was amazing. If you have not checked out Gotham City Sirens, you should. They've released trades of that recently, and it is an amazing title. But Harley Quinn, looking forward to that. I did pick up the Chip. Was it the Chip Kid half face cover for Harley Quinn? All the titles will have these Chip Kid variants, so check them out. If you like them, pick them up. Next month will be obviously the other half of the image, but yeah, not the best kind of variant, but I think for certain titles, if you're really into the character, or you're really into the artist, pick them up. But yeah. Next up is Justice League Convergence, or Convergence Justice League number one. So I'm curious to see what goes on with this Justice League version. It looks like the one from a few years ago. Next up we have Convergence Nightwing and Oracle. I've always liked Oracle's as a character, and I mean, I'm not a big Dick Grayson fan, but again, I'll give it a try. Next up is the one that a lot of people are excited for, especially since this is by Greg Rucka. This is Convergence: The Question. I'm really looking forward to this title. I've liked The Question a lot from what I've read from 52 series and so and stuff afterwards. I've never read the earlier stuff, but I hear it's really good. But Convergence: The Question number one is out. Next up, for all you Flash fans of the TV show, fans of Flash in general, we got Convergence Speed Force. This looks like it's a Wally and his kids, so we'll see where that goes. But this one's out too. Next up is a title that Toby is super excited for. I read the first issue and liked it and decided to keep it on my pull list, and that's Descender number two. It's basically no robots aren't allowed, or certain robots aren't permitted in this world, and one pops up, and it's interesting. So we'll see kind of where this book goes. But Descender number two is out. Next up is not a book on my pull list because it's on my pull list because I want to read it. It's on a pull list because my fiance wants it, even though she's not reading it. She's going to read these in graphic novel format. But it's Edward Scissorhands number 6. There's two covers for this. There's the regular cover and the sub. I believe Hot Topic has a variant cover, but I don't know if they're going to continue that. And there might be another variant cover that Brian just didn't order enough to get, which is fine. But Edward Scissorhands number 6. I've read the first 5. They're okay. I mean, it's not in my wheelhouse of stuff I enjoy, but hey, you gotta branch out a little bit. Next up is Grant Morrison's Nameless #3. 1 and 2 kept my interest. It's still a little iffy on what it is, so I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. But Nameless #3 is out. Next up, we have a Valiant title, Raw #8. Raw's been good. I've been enjoying it. It's the art's amazing on it. It seems to come out like every other month, or there seems to be a lot of time between issues, but I enjoy it for the most part, so it's still on my pull list. Next up is an awesome title. If you're not reading it, you should be, which is Saga. This Saga #27 is out today. I'm super excited to read this. Of course, it's going to be on the bottom of my pull list because that's where I keep the stuff I really, really want to read, unless it's something I direly need to read for the podcast, or just need to know what goes on. So that's my pull list. These are the titles that I brought home that are going to my collection. So yeah, that's a decent stack this week. Excuse me, I'm going to refresh on the internet here. I started to post on Twitter that if you have any questions you would like me to answer here, go ahead and shoot them my way. So I'll start before I do my read list. Yeah, I record every Tuesday night, really late at night. So if you have a question for me, go ahead and shoot me a tweet on Tuesday in the evening, and I'll try and answer it here on the pull list video. But please feel free, ask me anything. I mean, you can ask me anything, but I'll filter what I'm gonna answer. So, try and ask me good questions. All right, let's get to the read list. This is the stuff that I read every week to stay kind of caught up and current. It's not necessarily stuff that some of it's stuff I like, some of it's stuff I'm checking out. So yeah. So first up on the read list is Ant-Man #4, which if you're not reading Ant-Man, it's awesome, and this cover is awesome and an homage to Miami Vice. It's based in Miami right now, so really, really good stuff. I've really enjoyed Ant-Man so far. Really looking forward to hopefully there being a nice collection of all of them when it's done. So that's that. A image book that actually kind of just I didn't get a chance to read, take it to read, and then it was still available the next week. We didn't sell through it, but it's by Eric Powell. It's Big Man Plans #2 of 4 is out. First issue was pretty entertaining. It's about a guy who's a dwarf, midget. I don't know what the PC term is, and it's kind of his, it's kind of his gritty story about being short and in this world and stuff like that. But I found it really, really interesting read, and so I'm gonna check out issue 2. Hopefully we keep getting it in, and there's enough interest that Ryan keeps ordering it. If not, it's probably going to end up as a trade in my collection, but we'll see. Next up is a Black Vortex chapter. This is chapter 11. This is probably the only time I'll ever pick up an issue of this book to read, but that's Captain Marvel #14. What can I say about Black Vortex that I haven't already said? Not much. It has not improved story-wise for me. It's still a book that a story arc that literally every issue seems to be running from something, escaping from something, submitting to the vortex, and then taking the vortex somewhere else. So it's like this mirror gets passed around between each issue or chapter of this book, and it hasn't grabbed me, and it's really sad because I was really hopeful for Black Vortex. The concept is there, but the execution has not been the best. I'm still going to read it just to so I know how bad it is, but yeah, it's not something I look forward to reading every week. A couple Convergence titles that I decided not to put on my pull list, but read, and they may end up on my pull list, depending on whether or not I like them, was Convergence Batgirl, #1. This one is probably the one I most was not sure of whether or not I wanted to put it on my pull list or whether I wanted to wait and just read it and check it out. I think because of the disappointment from the creative team change on Batgirl itself, I was really into the Gail Simone run with the New 52. It was dark, it was great, it was just a solid book. And then with the creative team change, the book just fell off. It was so horribly bad that, it really turned me off of Batgirl. So we'll see what this book, if this book catches my interest. It might be something that I enjoy because of the time, or the the time parallel universe or whatever it's written in. But we'll see. But Batgirl #1, or Convergence #1. Next up is Convergence Superman #1. Apparently he's back with Lois, which is duh. That's where they were going to go with it. So we'll see if I enjoy it. The Superman titles have really suffered since the New 52. I have not really enjoyed them. Johns' run on what was it? I think it's Action. I don't even remember. No, it's just Superman. His run on Superman with Romita Jr.'s art has just been, I mean, the art takes away so much from the story, and Superman has just suffered so much with the New 52 that, I mean, hopefully this will kind of rekindle something, but we'll see. It might end up on my pull list, or it might be something that I'm like, feel I can skip. So, Convergence, Superman, #1. Then next up is Convergence, the Titans, #1. This is kind of an iteration of the Titans. I've tried to get into the Titans before the New 52 a couple times, and just nothing really stuck. So we'll see if this book kind of brings something to the table that I enjoy. But yeah, Convergence, Titans, #1. Next up is a book that was not on my #1. Was not on my read list. It was I kind of just blew it off. And then Ryan Higgins told me that I should check it out at least. So I did. I checked out issue 1 of it, and I really did enjoy it. It was a good, solid read. So I'm curious to see where it goes. But this is Hawkeye #2 is out. So yeah, I really like the first issue. So I'm looking forward to issue 2. Not sure what's going to happen with this Hawkeye title with Secret Wars coming up. If it's just going to be like a 6-issue thing, and then they're going to cancel it and then relaunch it after Secret Wars happens, who knows? But this has been a good, solid Hawkeye title, and I will say I've enjoyed it. Next up is Howard the Duck #2, and apparently in this issue we have to boost sales and shove Guardians of the Galaxy in it. So it's Howard the Duck and Guardians of the Galaxy. We're in issue 2, and we're already dealing with Guardians of the Galaxy. The first issue was okay. I mean, I don't really know how well I'm going to enjoy this book. I mean, it's definitely just marketing on Marvel's part to just shove whatever's big into a book right now, and the Guardians seem like the new Wolverine. But yeah, we'll see. Howard the Duck #2. Next up is, I believe, the last issue of, it's either the last or second to last issue of Spider-Man 2099. This is issue 11. I've enjoyed the Spider-Man 2099 book with this series. The Spider-Verse stuff really kind of jumbled up the story, which happens a lot of times with books that kind of don't really get they're trying to get their feet, and then all of a sudden there's a crossover. So we'll see where this one takes me. But for the most part, I've been enjoying it, so hopefully it ends nicely. The next up, last on my read list that I was actually able to bring home to check out was Star Wars Darth Vader #4. Of the Star Wars books that are out, this is like the second on my list on my top list. First being Star Wars, the second being Darth Vader. The Canon Last Padawan book that came out last week was really good. I really enjoyed that one. And then Princess Leia's on the bottom because it's not that great. So we'll see where that one takes us. Titles that I wasn't able to bring home because we didn't have enough copies, or I just felt like I didn't really want to bring them just yet, was Batman Arkham Knight #2. I've really enjoyed the comics that are based around the Batman video games that are out. But I'm kind of holding off because I think I just want to read it in trade. Like the Injustice books I really enjoyed, but I kind of just fell off getting the single issues. I know they're available digitally first, and then they come out in physical form. But for me, I just couldn't get behind them. Next up, we have Guardians 3000 #7. Not the best book, but it's the old Guardians team and some parallel universe or time stream team. We'll see where that book goes. It's most likely done with Secret Wars, so who knows. Next up is Jupiter's Circle #1. This is, I guess, the second part of the Jupiter stuff from Mark Millar. Jupiter's Legacy was the first part. I did not actually finish reading that. It was enjoyable enough. Yeah, but we'll see if I probably won't pick this one up unless I get the trade for the first one. But yeah, we'll see. The next up is a Dark Horse title, which is called Rebels #1. It seems to be set in um, America during before the Revolutionary War, around the Revolutionary War. But it's by Brian Wood, so I'm curious to see how well he does with that. So hopefully I'll get a chance to check that one out. Title that we were shorted all of our copies of was Southern Cross #2. I enjoyed the first one, so I'm going to check out the second one. And then The Surface #2, which is I believe a 2 of 4. Those are both Image titles, and they were enjoyable enough, so I'm gonna check them out. There was a couple of trades that I wanted to mention that came out today, and the first one is Harley Quinn Volume 2 Power Outage. It's hardcover of the Harley Quinn series from the New 52. So if you love Harley Quinn and you desperately need a hardcover, go check that one out and snatch it up. It's $24.99. I believe on Amazon it's a little bit less. So yeah, if you're on my blog post or actually on my blog page, which is conspiratorbrock.com, and you actually don't block all the ads, the Amazon thing on the side is for that. So if you're curious, go ahead and click that. Next up is Jupiter's Legacy Volume 1. It's an introductory price of $9.99 for the first 5 issues, which is great. The Image does this. So Jupiter's Legacy. Hopefully, we'll see if I pick that one up and finish reading it. Then we have Star Wars Legends Epic Collection Volume 1. Trade paperback came out today. It's The Empire is the title of that. It's $34.99. It's a lot. It's the early Marvel stuff, I believe. I'm curious to pick these up, but I'm also kind of not curious to pick them up, so we'll see. But if you're a Star Wars fan and you like the older stuff, especially the Marvel stuff, this is what it's reprinting. So, yeah. So that's my pull list for this week. A lot of stuff going on this week. Earlier today, I had to help. I was a pallbearer for my fiance's grandmother passed away, and so I was a pallbearer this morning. So that was what I did, and then I went to work and recorded a podcast, and now I'm sitting here recording a pull list. So it's a lot of stuff happening just today. Thursday, I'm going into work to get prepped and help the shop prep for its sale. So the Comics Conspiracy is having their April sale, big April sale this weekend. It goes from the 10th, 11th, and 12th, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm actually working on Saturday, so if you're in the area, come on down, say hi. There's going to be a ton of books on sale, back issues, current books, so on and so forth, toys, statues, a lot of stuff on sale. So check that out. And then I go on spring break, which is really nice, but we have Big Wow coming up the weekend after, or not this weekend, but next weekend. So I will be doing load in on Friday for that, working all day on Saturday, and then doing load in on Friday and load out on Sunday. Hopefully I'll be able to go in a little early and hit the con floor. But Big Wow's getting big, has gotten a little bit bigger, and so hopefully it's a fun time. I know Wizard World is supposed to be coming to San Jose, so we'll see how that goes. So a lot of stuff coming up. Avengers 2 is coming up. Daredevil's on Netflix is out Friday, so hopefully I'll be able to watch a couple episodes of that. I need to finish up watching House of Cards because that show's awesome. But tons of stuff going on. I have no clue when I'm going to have time to do a lot of stuff, but I'm going to definitely attempt to get my reading done, watch my shows, all that wonderful stuff. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. You can visit www.conspiratorbrock.com. That's my blog site. I haven't really been able to post too much there besides the pull lists, so hopefully that'll change if I can get a little free time. I'm trying to get different things going here on the YouTube channel. We're doing like random comic reviews and stuff like that. So we'll see if I can get that going. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also help support the Comic Conspiracy podcast, which I'm on, which you can check out. We record every Tuesday, so it's up every Tuesday night, Monday morning. You can find that at www.geekbox.net, or you can go to iTunes to find it there. So I got to work on my outros. They're so bad. You can support the Comic Conspiracy through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy. Thank you to our current patrons who help support us. That helps with the hosting and all that stuff for the podcast, and helps us get a little bit of stuff so that we have cool things to show you and cool things for ourselves. Again, thanks again for watching. Again, if you have any questions that you want me to answer, go ahead and shoot me those on Twitter, or you can even leave it in the comment. I try and answer any questions in the comments below as the week goes on. But if you definitely have any questions you want me to answer on the video poll list, please shoot me those on Twitter Tuesday evening, and I'll answer them that night. There's your yawn. Oh, you got a big one coming. You need to take a huge shot. Oh, so late. I need to get to bed. I did pick up something pretty interesting today that I want to mention. Didn't know Funko was putting out these pop figures of these, but I had to pick this up when I saw it. It's the Game of Thrones Visceron dragon. It's the reddish tan one. If they do the black one and the green one, I will have a nice little set. I know they've done the smaller ones of the dragons, but I didn't like those. But I like these bigger ones. I have the back here. I have the Deathwing from World of Warcraft, or for me, Hearthstone. Yeah, they're fun little figures when they're a little oversized ones. So I picked that up today. But yeah, other than that, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed now. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week.